So I want to have it and look at some terminologies as related to the bone business, So anytime you hear osteo, we are talking about the bone business. So we're looking at what is known as osteonecrosis. We'll also look at what is known as osteosclerosis. Okay. So what's the differences? Okay. So first we start with osteonecrosis, which is more of like what? Anything necrosis, tissues are dying. So tissues are dying because the blood supply is no longer adequate. I don't know if you understand. So blood supply is no longer adequate, so tissues are dying off. So if it occurs in the bone, you say there's a death of bone tissue. That's what? Osteonecrosis. So osteonecrosis is death of bone tissues due to what? Loss of blood supply. Okay. Maybe fractures or dislocations are the ones that are causing it. Okay. So, long-term corticosteroid use, excessive alcohol intake, blood disorders, idiopathic issues. Okay. So the places that are usually fractured include the hip, the knee, the shoulder. Of course, the places that handle a lot of weight bearing. Okay. So symptoms: a lot of pain, limited range of motion, progressive joint collapse, could lead to secondary osteoarthritis. So you manage all those medications, reduce the amount of weight that the person is bearing, and the core decompression surgeries. Then if it's advanced, you replace the joint. So about osteosclerosis. Osteosclerosis just have to do with the calcium concentration, right? It's getting too much. So when it gets too much, there's an issue. It tilts the bone into being brittle and easily fractured. Okay. So it's an abnormal hardening and increased density of the bone. Okay. You can have all these issues like osteopetrosis, inflammation like osteomyelitis, Paget's disease of the bone. Okay, healing response after a fracture, and sometimes some particular cancers could bring this. So the bone is so dense when you look at it on X-rays. Symptoms sometimes no issues. It may cause a lot of pain sometimes, and sometimes the bone could get so large that it compresses some nerves, and sometimes it gets so weak that you can have fractures. Probably.